Mamacita! What's up, bitches? Hey guys, this is Thermonuclear Godzilla / Godzilla myself. Today we're reacting to Mothra vs. Queen Muto about a face-off and death analysis by Godzilla Center. Let's get into the video already. So yeah.
In order to proportionately size up these monsters and simulate an accurate fight, we first need to understand their corporal builds and the first battle attribute, resistance.
Resistance, okay.
Mothra, or also known as Titanus Musura, is a massive winged kaiju who evolved from the Lepidopteran order of giant insects.
My
More
beautiful
specifically,
queen.
moths. For this battle, we will not be using the larval form. At first glance, this monster looks quite massive. But by measuring it up close, we find that this animal's actual body is around a mere 52 feet in height.
Yep.
Its wings, however, cover a wingspan of over 803 feet, dwarfing the area coverage of its opponent. This creature's body was protected with a chitinous armor that covered its entire body, serving as a durable exoskeleton for a titan of this size.
Yep.
Similarly, the Queen Muto was also covered in an exoskeleton. But it's important to note that the Muto species also contain an endoskeleton, further strengthening its body. But how big were these? We know that female Mutos measure approximately 300 feet in height, and there is no official mention that Queen Mutos are considerably larger than the standard female specimens. In this simulation, we will account for the spiked formations along its back, subtly increasing its overall height to around 310 feet. So, which of these titans is better built to fight? Taking into account that there is a stark difference in the amount of mass that these creatures bring to this battle. The Queen Muto is seemingly built to be able to withstand more damage from its opponent. For this reason, in this round, the edge for resistance and corporal build will go to the Queen Muto.
I believe Mothra's gonna win still, but yeah.
Experience.
I'm gonna take.
I
can't even speak.
Battle experience as a fair indicator of these titans' level of
I think
battle
Mothra,
intelligence.
yeah, Mothra.
Note that both of these particular specimens are extremely battle-hardened titans. Yes, both. Let's begin with Mothra. In the Monsterverse lore, it is explained that Mothra has a particular ability that singles it out from all other titans. Reincarnation. This is defined as the recurring process of coming back to a living state after death. But this doesn't end here. After Mothra resurrects, it will still hold the memories of the previous Mothra incarnations.
Yep.
All of them. Meaning that any battle experience picked up by every single Mothra in existence is now housed inside this current specimen. This is possible due to Mothra's habit of laying an egg before going out to fight other kaiju. If it dies, then the next Mothra will hatch. Going back in time, we see that Mothra has faced an array of titans before, including Ghidorah and even the Kong species. This combination of knowledge and experience gained throughout millions of years will be used against its opponent. But how does the Muto compare? Let's make something very clear. You don't just turn into a Queen Muto after winning one fight. This mark of superiority is earned with blood. It is mentioned that this particular Muto specimen is very old and experienced. This is notable from the obvious markings and scarring of this Muto specimen. This means that the Muto had to endure a continuous amount of combat throughout its life. If you know anything about Mutos, these guys are particularly good at fighting Godzillas, arguably the most powerful titan species in this franchise.
Oh yeah,
So
I almost got killed.
That both of these titans are perhaps some of the most battle-hardened creatures in the Monsterverse. Both with plenty of opportunities to fight very dangerous kaiju.
Okay, so both of them, alright.
A draw in battle experience.
Thought that was Mothra, but okay.
Locomotion.
Locomotion,
When it
okay.
comes to locomotion, we will take into account how fast and how agile their movements are.
I'm gonna say
In Godzilla, King
Mothra.
of the Monsters, we see Mothra moving at very high speeds when she joined the fight against Ghidorah and Rodan. Her preferred method of locomotion is obviously flight. In 2019, Mothra joined the fight while airborne, rapidly flying past Ghidorah while avoiding any terrestrial melee combat. We can assume that Mothra will use this same methodology against Queen Muto, as it would not make any sense for Mothra and Muto to engage in an exclusively terrestrial encounter. The Queen Muto, on the other hand, or all female Mutos for that matter, are limited to ground locomotion, even though they are technically capable of moving faster sporadically for short periods of time. This speed and ground maneuverability is practically useless against a Titan that can move on both the X and Y axes.
And can fly.
In this battle, this attribute will be something Mothra will have to exploit to avoid getting killed. Therefore, Mothra takes the edge when it comes to
So
locomotion.
Mothra and Queen Muto have
Overall
one of their
strength.
points and one
In
of
this
equal. Okay.
particular face-off, strength will be the attribute to determine which of these Titans can kill the other and how fast. Let's go back to the corporal comparison. We see here that in terms of body composition, the Queen Muto far outweighs Mothra in both external and internal aspects. This includes musculature and armor. In King of the Monsters, we witnessed Mothra literally getting ragdolled by Rodan in midair against other tall structures.
Yeah.
After further observation, Mothra really never displayed any signs of physical pushback against Rodan, suggesting that against an even larger foe, Mothra would struggle to inflict significant shock damage to its opponent. If you saw one of our previous face-off videos featuring the male Muto, you would have already learned that Muto species are exceptionally strong. In 2014,
I saw.
we witnessed a smaller male Muto specimen drag a Russian Typhoon-class submarine many miles inland. Based off of these feats, we can assume that the much larger specimens, let alone a Queen Muto, would be more than capable of inflicting killer blows backed up by this immense level of strength. Because this is a female, this particular sex in this species is much more bulkier than its male counterpart.
Overall strength, okay.
That for this combat attribute, the Queen Muto takes the edge in overall strength.
So 2 points for
Auxiliary
Queen Muto.
weaponry. This flying
Auxiliary
Titan is
weapon.
equipped with weapons that can potentially handicap its opponents in 2 different ways. The first weapon that we will discuss is its silk attack ability. This is when Mothra spits a wide web out of its mouth, which is strong enough to ensnare or tangle even the largest of Titans. But in order to use this weapon effectively, Mothra will have to come somewhat close to its opponent in order to successfully cover the Titan with this silk. How strong is it? Silk is a natural fiber made out of special proteins which are produced inside certain insects such as silkworms and spiders. If you didn't know, silk is one of the strongest and most resistant materials in the world. According to some studies, it has been revealed that silk is proportionally 5 times stronger than steel. You heard that right. 5. Looking back on how Mothra managed to successfully trap 2 of Ghidorah's heads, we see that the only reason they were set free was thanks to Godzilla, who just destroyed the building altogether. Had Godzilla not intervened here, Ghidorah would have had a much harder time getting free.
Or that one in the heck and just gravity beam the building.
These wings have the capability of glowing thanks to the natural phenomenon known as bioluminescence. These can glow in different color schemes, but the most powerful and damaging would be its God Ray ability. Wave light that
her
is
beautiful
capable of
God Ray.
blinding an opposing kaiju and dissipating strong winds in any direction, making this ability a highly disorienting tool for Mothra.
The blind
All
enemies.
Muto species have a special ability commonly known as an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse. This pulse is a disturbance that affects electrical circuitry and other energy transmitting
And weaken my
elements.
atomic breath.
Will these affect Mothra's bioluminescence? To answer this, we need to know how this phenomenon works. In the real world, most, if not all, bioluminescent animals and bacteria are able to emit light thanks to an element known as luciferin. When this element reacts with oxygen, it produces light. This chemical reaction is what you see whenever a firefly glows in the dark. Similarly, this giant insect's bioluminescence is created in the same way. Not by electrical means, but by chemical reactions.
God damn, that's beautiful right there.
Immune to EMPs. Mothra's 2 abilities can 1. Handicap an opponent's limbs, and 2. Blind them. While the
blind.
EMP is basically harmless to Mothra, giving her the edge for auxiliary weaponry.
That might weaken a bit of her power, but still. Melee weapon,
Both of these Titans have similar weapons that are used in relatively the same way, but at different scales. Both Mothra and the Queen Muto have forward-facing limbs tipped with sharp spikes. Both have been seen to make lethal impacts to an opponent, and in the Muto's case, draw blood when fighting the G-Man. These weapons are deadlier. By measuring the size of both of these weapons, we see that the Queen Muto not only has the bigger weapons, but also has the greater range, meaning that each impact will come packed with enough centrifugal force to possibly even impale Mothra with a single strike. But Mothra doesn't just have sharp forelimbs, she also has a stinger. This retractable weapon is housed in this Titan's rear abdomen. Fully exposed, this stinger seemingly has the capability to pierce deep, as it was shown in King of the Monsters to effortlessly impale Rodan's chest or shoulder. It is not efficient officially mentioned that this stinger can inject any venomous agents, but even if it didn't, this thing is long enough to reach some of Muto's vital organs. That's if the Muto lets Mothra get close enough. But is
Oh,
this
yeah.
stinger enough to win the edge? The answer is found in these weapons' effectiveness. While Mothra can arguably inflict damaging blows to the Muto, it's only fair to acknowledge that a single impact of one of these massive Muto claws is more than enough to one-shot a small titan like Mothra. Whereas it will take more effort to use and deploy these weapons effectively against a much larger opponent. For this reason, the Queen Muto takes the edge when it comes to melee weaponry.
Alright, okay.
X Factor. Earlier in this video, we discussed how Mothra lays eggs prior to going out and putting herself at risk and possibly dying. This makes it possible for her to come back to life, along with her previous memories and experience. But this has an additional effect to her fight methodology. It was mentioned by official sources that because Mothra is able to reincarnate, she has, over time, lost her fear of death. Meaning that Mothra will bear this in mind when fighting the Queen Muto. The idea of getting killed will not be daunting enough for Mothra to think twice before making a bold move.
Yeah.
Mutos are animals instinctually driven to terraform the surrounding biome, breed, and look for radiation sources. Female Mutos' maternal instincts are more finely tuned since this species exists to reproduce. Meaning that if this Muto engages in combat during its reproductive stage, it will become even more aggressive, making fighting this Muto all the more dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
We are now ready to reveal who will be the winner of this fight.
Alright, let's see.
Mothra, with its light and agile build, wins the edge in locomotion and auxiliary weaponry.
Alright,
The
2
Queen
points.
Muto, with her massive build, wins the edge in resistance, overall strength, and melee weaponry.
Oh,
Both of these
shit.
titans are equal in the critical attribute of battle experience.
Oh, gosh.
By compiling all of our data, we determined that Mothra would be the close winner of this fight.
Oh, okay.
It can depend on a few things.
Okay.
Let us explain. Although the Queen Muto's stats looked as if she would win this fight, the attributes that carried more weight in this battle were these two: battle experience and locomotion. In close
Okay.
range, Mothra would not stand a chance against the Queen Muto, since we discussed that it would only take one blow to take down this smaller titan. So, how did it win? It does not take a genius to realize that facing a much larger titan head-on would get you killed. Mothra's approach to this battle would be obvious. Keep your distance and wait for the right moment to strike. It just so happens that Mothra is equipped with the tools to allow her to get up close and strike a lethal blow. First, Mothra's blinding God Ray ability would be used to disorient the Muto, of course, at a safe distance, allowing Mothra to be able to get close enough to repeatedly ensnare the Muto's
I thought the
limbs
Queen
until they are
Muto would win, but
practically
never mind.
motionless. After Muto's limbs aren't able to protect her any longer, Mothra would now find an opening on Muto's only vulnerable spot. Its nice, flat, exposed head. And by using its limbs to grapple onto this giant beast,
Ooh,
it will
damn.
now place itself in a perfect position to insert its stinger close to its brain or brain stem, paralyzing and killing the Muto in an instant. The other
Dead.
unlikely scenario would involve Mothra haphazardly getting too close to the Queen Muto and getting one-shotted by those massive claws. But realistically, Mothra wouldn't be stupid enough to let that happen. Having said this, it is obvious that both of these titans are capable of killing each other, but the title of Queen isn't just earned by strength. It's earned by knowing how to use it. What do you think a battle between Queen Mothra and Queen Muto would look like? Do you agree with this analysis?
I say
Did you
yeah.
know that if you don't subscribe to Goji Center, Rodan will pull up and destroy your whole...
Yeah, right. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any of you guys are new here, subscribe, turn on notification bell, like this video, go subscribe to Goji Center's channel. This battle analysis was very close. I thought Queen Muto would win because she got more, you know. But yeah, Mothra wins, so yay. So yeah, this is Thermo Nuclear Godzilla. I'll see you guys later. Bye.